Hi, I'm Lisa and welcome to my channel. This is my random recipes. These are the condiments. I'm currently working my way through the sauces. Today's recipe is Chipotle barbecue sauce, but it's not a standalone recipe. It's supposed to go with a recipe called Moxee Meatloaf. This video comes with a bit of a backstory, so if you'd like to skip the backstory, just skip to this timestamp. The Moxee Meatloaf recipe was from my mom. Actually, it was from one of my mom's friends. I don't remember the gal's name. I never actually met her. My mom used to rave about this meatloaf. My mom would insist that this is the meatloaf to end all meatloafs. When she gave this to me, I politely accepted it and put it away and never really gave it any more thought. One, when it comes to meatloaf, I'm kind of a purist. I have this one recipe that I use that I like. It's just real super basic and I just stick with that. Two, the Moxee Meatloaf is really big. It's supposed to make 5 pounds of meatloaf. When I make meatloaf for myself, I make 1 pound. Just enough for dinner for a night or two, or maybe a sandwich or two, and that's it. I don't want so much meatloaf that I get sick of it. And the third reason is it sounds like a bit of a project. And again, as I say, I'm kind of a purist and I have my simple little meatloaf recipe and I just pretty much stick with that. This recipe is going to be a bit of a project. I will be cutting this recipe in half, but even 2.5 pounds of meatloaf is a lot of food. First, I will assemble the meatloaf here and get it into the oven to bake. It needs to bake for an hour, and then it's supposed to rest in the refrigerator for 2 hours, and then it gets the sauce put on top of it. All right, let's get to work. This is 1.5 pounds of regular hamburger. This is the 20/80. Actually, I think this is 85/15. And to that, we're going to add 1 pound. It's supposed to be ground sirloin. The ground sirloin is super, super lean, and honestly doesn't have any flavor to it. This is ground chuck. It is 20/80. So I'm getting in there with my hands and mix the two together. So next, we are going to add 2.5 cups of ketchup. Yes, 2.5 cups. And again, this is a big recipe. Next is 1 egg. And 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce. Yes, I know that's a lot. And then 1 cup of Parmesan cheese, grated. And 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, and then 1/2 tablespoon of shallot, and this is 2 tablespoons of fresh basil, about 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and we'll say about 1 teaspoon of salt. Now we're going to smush this all together. I'm going to mix it thoroughly. This is pretty soupy. You know, this is a pretty soupy meatloaf. Okay, that's really all it takes to put the meatloaf together. There's just a lot of stuff in it. Let's grab a loaf pan. I have 2 of them ready. My prettier one and my uglier one, but we'll probably end up having to use both. These are our meatloaves. Loaves. They're going to go in the oven for about an hour at 350, and we'll come back in a little bit and we'll start on the sauce. I'm over here at the stove. The meatloaf has just come out of the oven. I baked it for an hour and I let it cool for 10 minutes. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it with foil, and then it needs to go in the fridge. These are going to go in the fridge, and then I'll come back in a little bit and we'll start working on the sauce. The meatloaf has been in the fridge for about an hour. We have 1 more hour to go on it. The sauce that's going to go on the meatloaf takes about 45 minutes for it to simmer. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that now, and that way it'll be ready when the meatloaf is ready to be eaten. You can see what I'm doing. I've got my recipe over here. This is my saucepan that I'm going to make it in. So we start off with, let's see, olive oil and diced onion. Okay, so I'm supposed to add my olive oil. Just warming up. And my diced onion. So it's 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1/2 of a chopped onion. This is a sweet onion. Okay, I'm supposed to also add the chipotle. This is, these are diced. I was supposed to use whole ones, but this is all I could find. 1.5 teaspoons of chipotle. And then garlic. This is 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. It says to saute for 2 minutes. Let's turn this up a bit more, get this thing going. I smell the garlic. I can smell the onion. They're starting to bloom already. It's starting to smell good. Now we're going to add some chicken broth. This is 4 cups of chicken stock, actually. This is 4 cups of better than bouillon. Next, we're going to add in ketchup. This is 2 cups of ketchup. I'm using a lot of ketchup in this recipe. Next is mustard. This is yellow mustard. 1 tablespoon of yellow mustard. And then we have 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. And we have a cup of Worcestershire sauce. Yes, that's how much goes in this. That's the half recipe. And lemon juice. This is 1/4 of a cup of lemon juice. And that's everything that goes into this. So I'm bringing this to a simmer. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. This cookie, she's barking today. That's her thing today. And it's getting hot. Get some steam coming up. Okay, we're starting to get some bubbling here. Starting to cook. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. I'm going to turn off my camera again. This is going to simmer for about 45 minutes. And when it's supposed to thicken somewhat, and about that time, we'll be ready to eat our meatloaf. So we've got a little ways to go yet, but we're getting there. I'm back. The meatloaf has sat for 2 hours in the fridge. I just took it out. The sauce has been simmering for a good 45 minutes, maybe a little longer. Now I'm supposed to put it through the blender to puree it. I'm going to put a towel over the spout so steam and splatter don't come up out of there too badly anyways. Okay, so let's do puree. Okay, and 1 more batch. This burner's already hot, so I'm going to go ahead and put my cast iron skillet on it. We'll blend this. It's not super thick, but it definitely is thicker than it was when we started. What I'm supposed to do is slice off a serving or 2. I'm supposed to do this on a grill, but I think my cast iron skillet will do just fine. So we're going to slice off a couple pieces. It's pretty soupy still. I don't know if this looks awful soft. Yeah, it's just mush. I'm not real happy with that. We're going to have hash. So we're going to fry this up a little bit. Yeah, I don't know that that's supposed to have that much liquid in there. It just seems really soupy to me. Maybe it tastes good. That's I guess the main thing. Yeah, this is hash. I mean, I don't dislike hash, but this is not meatloaf. I'm going to turn the camera off. I'll move over to the table and we can try this out. I'm back over here at the table and we can try this out and see how everything turned out. I'll turn the camera down so you can see the final product. This is the stuff that's supposed to be meatloaf. This is our sauce, and we're supposed to serve it with some mashed potatoes. I did the sauce on the side so I can try it with and without the sauce. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a bite. I'll turn this back up so you can see my reaction. All right, here we go. It's definitely flavorful. It's rather sweet. I don't know if it's from the ketchup or picking up on a sweet flavor. Let me try it with the sauce. Here we go. Well, again, it's very sweet because I mean a lot of the ingredients that were in the meatloaf are also in the sauce, so they kind of have similar flavor. Not bad, but it definitely is on the sweet side. I think if I were going to make this again, I think I would reduce the liquid by half so that it's more firm and not so liquidy, so much like hash. I'll come back to this. That will be my dinner tonight. To make a lot of food today in order to showcase the sauce recipe. For me, even half of this recipe is a lot of meatloaf. For me, that'll be dinner all week. Next time I'll be making a Southern style recipe. Please come back next time and you can find out more about that. I will include the ingredients and the preparation for the meatloaf and for the Chipotle barbecue sauce in the description below. I'll include both a half and a full recipe. If you have any questions or other feedback for me, please feel free to reach out to me in the comments. I would really love to hear from you. You can also let me know where you're watching from. That would be great. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. It helps my channel to continue to grow. Thank you for joining me on my journey through the condiments, specifically through the sauces. I'll see you again next time. Bye!